Hi everyone, it's Abby with the Bead Place and beadplace.net, and today I want to show you how to make a fun, quick, and easy Valentine's Day project. We have kits available for this project. You can find them linked down below in the video description. Now before we get started, please remember to give this video a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Let's get started. The materials we'll be using today are 8 inches of our Serape cord. We have 2 different colors of 26 gauge craft wire, and there is a yard of each color. We have an end cap that will glue the 2 ends of our Serape cord into. We have some fun glass beads that will be a dangle. We have a round circle link to act as our bail. We have a head pin for our dangle, some spacers for our dangle, and a fun variety of glass accent beads. So before we get started, what we want to do is fold our 2 lengths of 26 gauge wire in half and cut them so that we end up with 4 18-inch lengths of our 26 gauge wire. This will make adding the beads a lot easier. The first thing that we'll do is take one of our 18-inch lengths of our 26 gauge craft wire, and we will start to wrap it around the end of our Serape cord. So I like to hold about 1 inch of the cord up. That way I can get a good grip, and I start my spiral. And notice how I'm not spiraling at the very end here. That's important. We want to leave room to have a clean we want to have a clean end in order to glue it into our end cap. So we are going to make sure to coil that tail end down as well, and then I like to kind of go over it again to kind of lock it into place. So now what I'm going to be doing is bringing some of my colorful beads to the mix. So I'm just going to string about, I would say, 1 inch of beads onto the end of my wire. And you can vary the size and texture and color. You want them to be very different. And the kit comes with a wide variety. So I'm going to slide these beads down to my work. Now, you can string more, you can string fewer beads, however you want to do it, but what I like to do is just add a couple beads down on top of my work and then spiral it, and then add a couple beads and then spiral it. And I'm kind of doing a tight coil here. It's important that we keep this coil kind of tight. And by tight, I mean tight around this way, not tight like we're not leaving space between here. It's important that these coils are tight because when we go to bend this into a heart shape, if these coils aren't tight around this Serape cord, they end up kind of almost looking like there's gaps. So it's important to do a tight wrap around the cord. Notice how I'm leaving a fair amount of space between my wraps going this way. That's important because I don't want to use this entire length. I just want to make sure that I'm adding color. And so I'll just keep working like this, and I will come back and show you what I've done. All right, so now that I'm at the end, I'm going to take my last bit of wire and coil it tightly around the end of the cord, of course leaving room here for us to be able to glue that into the cap. So you can see that I've added just some fun bits of color and texture to the cord, and I'm not really filling the cord too much with beads. We're just adding a little bit of whimsy to it. And the cool thing about adding the beads this way is that you can kind of move them. So when we wrap the heart into the shape that it is, sometimes we'll want to be able to kind of move the beads to a position that's a little bit more visually pleasing. And so that's possible when we add the beads on with a loose spiral wrap this way. So now what I'm going to do is grab another color of wire, and I'm going to add the wire on the same way I did before. This time I'm just kind of going right over the top of the coils that I added to finish the wire off. So you can probably imagine what goes next. We are going to add some beads the same way that we did before. Also, what we're doing when we're wiring tight around this around this Serape cord, is we're adding some stability to this cord. So you'll notice that once you get all 4 wires around this cord, that you'll almost be able to bend the cord itself as if it were wire. So the cord will almost stay where you bend it, like a wire would. And so that's important in order to maintain a heart shape that will be kind of twisting into the Serape cord. So it is important to use the wire in order to keep that cool heart shape that we're going to bend in just a second. So I will keep doing this and I'll come back and show you once I've added some more on. Another tip that I want to share with you is that it is okay if the wires overlap. In fact, it's probably a good thing if you've got some crisscrosses going, because that is going to add some design interest and it's also going to add more stability to the design. So notice how I'm just kind of going over right between where those beads are, like that. That's good. That's a good thing. So this part is a lot more rigid than what I've got going on right down here. Make sure that you've got tight wraps and make sure that you're kind of crossing over some of your wires that you've wired before as you continue coiling around. All right, so our next step is to trim any loose hairs or threads that are on the ends of the Serape cord. As you work, sometimes the ends start to kind of unravel depending on the angle that it was cut, and you can just trim those off so that we've got a smooth, free section to glue into our little end cap here. Now, another thing that you can do if you need to is just kind of use your fingertips or even your plier tips to kind of scooch the wire up out of the way. If you've got some rogue wires hanging out, you can do that. Or if you have some little tail ends that are sticking out that might be scratchy, you can go ahead and tuck those down with your pliers as well. So what we're going to do now is we are going to tie this adorable little heart shape. So it's not really a knot. Basically what we're going to do is fold our Serape cord in half, just like this. We're going to pass the ends over so that they start to form a loop. And then we're going to continue that loop and bring the ends down so that we've formed a heart. Now I like to kind of pull that loop tight and kind of manipulate everything the way I want it to be shaped. So I just kind of push the wires and kind of almost flatten everything into place. And then I do the same thing on the other side. I push any of those beads where I want them to go. And that's another cool thing about this project, is you can really shape this exactly the way you want it to be shaped. So right now we have a heart that looks like this. Looks like I added a ton more beads to this one than I did on the other ones, and that's okay. I got a little carried away showing you guys how to add the beads there. But all right, what we're gonna do is set this to the side, and we are going to add some glue into our end cap. You can use any kind of glue that you'd like. I'm going to be using E6000 for this project because it is my personal favorite for gluing this cord into this cap. What I'm going to do is just add a little bit of glue into the cap like that. You don't want to add too little because it will not hold, and you don't want to add too much because you don't want it to squirt out all over the place, but about like that is fine. Actually, I probably added just a little bit too much, but that's okay. So the next step is the step that I always forget. So don't forget this. I'm going to string my veil onto the heart. Oh, I'm so glad I remembered to do this while filming. So I'm just going to string my link onto one side of the heart, and then I'm going to hold the ends together here. I'm going to have them at the same length, and you're just going to push them down into the end cap. You want to make sure to hold it for as long as you can hold it and kind of clean up any of those glue boogers that you need to clean up. Now, when you're pushing this into the cap, you want to make sure that you are pushing actually the cord itself and not just the wire, because if you would just push on those beads like that, you'd end up pushing the wire down the cord rather than pushing the cord into the cap. So I'm going to wait for this to dry for a little bit, and then I will come back to show you what we've got so far. So while the glue is drying, we can go ahead and create the cute little beaded dangle that we'll add to our heart necklace. So we've got our fun glass beads that kind of mix and match perfectly with the colors that we have in our heart. We also have a head pin and some fun spacer beads here. We've got a jump ring off to the side as well that will allow us to attach it to the little cap. So I'm going to string a fun little design on this. I think, oh, maybe I'm going to do the little guy on the bottom. Yeah. So just have fun with the design here. We've given you a few little spacers to play with. I think I like that. Okay. Yeah, that's very cute. So now what I'm going to do is take my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to hold the head pin directly on top of that top bead. I'm going to bend the wire into a right angle and then switch to my round nose pliers. I'm going to hold the round nose pliers on the part that's bent over rather than the post that's going up through the beads. And notice how I'm holding close to the tip of my round nose pliers as well. I'm going to bend the wire up around the top of my pliers and down so that it kind of looks like a clothes hanger with a long nose. And then what I'm going to do is put my round nose pliers back into it, but this time I'm putting the bottom nose into that little loop. I'm going to swing the tail end around and out to the other side so that we've got that loop almost completed. Now at this point what we can do is put the round nose pliers back into it and use our fingers to bend this tail end around, or since it's getting kind of short, I've added a long stack of beads here. What I'm going to do is use my chain nose pliers to help me tuck it around. Now, one tip that I can share with you if you are just now starting to invest in jewelry making tools is I would always recommend having 2 pairs of chain nose pliers. One to hold across your loop. You don't want to go in the loop, but hold across your loop. That's going to give you a very good grip on it. If you go in the loop with your round nose pliers, what's going to happen is as you're squeezing tight, that round nose pliers is going to kind of make a dent in your loop. So I would recommend holding across the loop with your chain nose pliers. And then you can use your other pliers if you need to in order to kind of help guide that wire around. So we're going to tuck those tail ends down so that it looks like this. So now what I'm going to do is attach our cute little beaded dangle to the bottom of our cap using a jump ring. So I'm going to hold the break of the jump ring at 12 o'clock. I'm going to bring 1 pliers in up and down and 1 pliers in sideways. And I'm going to open the jump ring like that. Now, if you've watched my videos, you've heard me say this a billion times. Anytime we're opening and closing a jump ring, we open it like this and never like this. So we always do it like this and never like this. So we will put the jump ring through our little dangle here, and then through our cap, and then take our other pliers in and close it. Now, once we've added both of these things into the jump ring, we might have to switch up our angles game with the way we hold the jump ring, but that's okay. We can always just grab it how it's most comfortable and then go in and close it. When we go to close the jump ring, you always want to double check from the top as well to make sure it's closed all the way. And then we have a stinking cute heart pendant. I'll bring you in for a better look. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Please remember to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And head on over to Facebook and like our pages. The link is in the description below.